Hello, friends, and welcome to our Sunday streaming services. If you're with us on Facebook or YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to get notifications when we have new videos. If you're with us on Zoom, welcome. Drop a hi in the chat. We would love to say hello back to you. And if this is your first time here, go sign our guest book at oakcliffuu.org/guest. Today's sermon is Revisiting Anticipating Joy with Renée Brill. Excited when I saw that one. All right, first of all, thank you everyone who participated in our online auction. Really exciting stuff, huge success. We did an amazing job. We met our goal. That's amazing. I got a mandolin out of it. I got some dragon gloves. Good times. Oh, and got a rose. It'll be fun. I can't wait to get all my stuff. Anyway, thank you so much for participating in it if you donated or bid on it. And if you weren't able to and you still want to help out the worship committee who puts on these wonderful services, you can still donate at oakcliffuu.org/auction2022. Dallas County is out of the red, hooray! And so that means that we will be in person again for those who would like to be. Starting next week, March 6th, there will be masking and social distancing. We still want to stay safe, but we will be together if that is what you are comfortable with. If you are not comfortable with that, don't worry. We are not leaving you. We're staying here with you on Zoom. So Zoom or in person, we got you covered. And after the service on that day, either stick around if you're with us in person, or come join us from 2 to 4 to see our outdoor concert, to enjoy our outdoor concert, Timond. That is going to be so much fun. Let's all get together safely. We'll mask, we'll social distance, we'll do all the stuff, but we can be together and enjoy live music. Remember all the fun that we used to have doing that? Yes, let's do it again next week. So more information on that. You can find all the information on the eBlast. Well, Alicia, what else can I find on the eBlast? I am so glad you asked. This week you have Widening Circle of Concern updates. It is not too late to join. They are just getting started. They've got a great group. You want to find out more about that? Check out the eBlast. Church news, information on reopening, committee vacancies, very important. We've got a parish meeting coming up, so vacancies, come on. Workday Wednesdays, and of course the Timond concert. Yes, go check it out. Everything in the eBlast. Today is Sunday, and so we have talk back at 11:15. Whether you come and just listen or if you want to contribute, it is always a good time. You always walk away with something else. And we have adult religious exploration at 1 o'clock. Sarah is doing science fiction and religion and philosophy. What an awesome topic. All right, that is all for this week. There are no member anniversaries, but there will be some soon. I hope to see you all at the concert next week. And to all of you out there, have a very happy Sunday.
Good morning, and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Oak Cliff's online worship services. Thank you for having the curiosity and the courage to join with us this morning. We welcome you, whoever you are, whatever spiritual tradition, gender, age, race, sexual orientation, or background you bring to our community. Know that you are worthy and that you are valued. We hope that you will find here comfort, connection, challenge, respect, and above all else, love.
May the light we now kindle inspire us to use our powers, to heal and not to harm, to help and not to hinder, to bless and not to curse, to serve you, Spirit of love, compassion, and forgiveness.
Que esta luz que ahora encendemos nos inspire a usar nuestros dones y poderes para sanar y no para herir, para ayudar y no para impedir, para bendecir y no para maldecir, para servirte a ti, espíritu de amor, compasión y perdón.
Apart but Together by Cynthia Landrum. Spirit of life and love, we gather together in different ways this morning. From computer screens, from telephones, from car radios, we gather, reaching out across the wires, waving from a safe distance, to come together in religious community. From living room to front porch to car seat, we gather as we are able, ready to be of service to each other, to the world, ready to build the community of hope and of love. As we face this bright morning, we are apart, but we are together, offering our love, our commitment, our hope, and our prayers in service to one another and this world. It is a new way, but an old way, that we come together in worship today.
We are building a new way. We are building a new way. We are building a new way, feeling stronger every day. We are building a new way. We are working to be free. We are working to be free. We are working to be free. Hate and greed and jealousy. We are working to be free. We can feed our every need. We can feed our every need. We can feed our every need. Start with love, that is the seed. We can feed our every need. Peace and freedom is our cry. Peace and freedom is our cry. Peace and freedom is our cry. Without these, this world will die. Peace and freedom is our cry.
Because we love one another, we honor each individual spiritual journey. We celebrate life's abundance and service to each other, our community, and the world. We connect with each other in love, respect, and acceptance. Thus do we covenant together.
And now in Spanish. Porque nos amamos uno al otro, honramos el viaje espiritual de cada individuo. Celebramos la abundancia de la vida en el servicio a entre sí, nuestra comunidad y el mundo. Ponemos en contacto a unos con otros en el amor, respeto y aceptación, así que hacemos pacto.
In our community, we make time each week to share pieces of our lives with one another. We do this because each person in this community has value. Each person's experience matters. We share our sorrow with one another today, knowing that sorrow comes into each person's life, knowing that together we offer comfort. At this time, we invite you to publicly post your sorrows and prayer requests to the Zoom chat or send those to our Facebook Messenger.
When I breathe in peace. When I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love.
We also share our joys with one another, knowing that joy comes into all of our lives, knowing that joy calls unto joy, knowing that together our voices can rise in a chorus of celebration. Today, we share the joy of this moment, this community, present and awake together, deep calling unto deep, joy calling unto joy, light calling unto light. Please share your joys publicly by post in the Zoom chat or send those to our Facebook Messenger or speak those aloud.
Spirit of light, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirs of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
Good morning and welcome to Sunday. This Sunday, we're going to watch a sermon that I gave last year at Easter time. When I rewatched this today, I was struck by two things. One, I was preparing, hopefully, for us to get back together and start meeting in person every week. Now, obviously, that part of things didn't quite happen, but we are hoping once again, as we get ready for summer, that we'll be able to start meeting together again on a regular basis. But the other thing that I noticed is that a lot of what I have been hoping for is starting to come true. In the year since I gave this sermon, union drives are up across the United States. Nearly 100 Starbucks locations have filed for union elections, more than one Amazon location, and strikes across the country have won their demands for increased pay and benefits. Recent strikes in Haiti have increased their minimum wage by 53%, and tenants unions are starting to win concessions from landlords on back rent from the pandemic. All across the United States, more and more people are dissatisfied with the way things have been, and more people are excited and taking action to build a better world for us and for our future. Over the coming weeks, I'm going to talk about some of the ways that you can take part in these exciting developments. But this morning, I invite you to anticipate the joy of being together again and of building the world that we dream about. This week is Easter week, and I've been thinking about a story to tell from Jesus of Nazareth since it is his day. And the story that I've been thinking about particularly is the parable of the sower. So here is the parable of the sower from Jesus of Nazareth. This comes from Matthew chapter 13, 1-9. That same day, Jesus went out of the house and sat by the lake. Such large crowds gathered all around him that he got into the boat and sat in it while all the people stood on the shore. Then he told them many things in parables, saying, "A farmer went out to sow his seed. As he was scattering the seed, some fell along the path, and the birds came and ate it. Some fell on rocky places where it did not have much soil. It sprang up quickly, but because the soil was shallow, when the sun came up, the plants were scorched and withered because they had no root. Other seed fell among the thorns, which grew up and choked the plants. Still other seed fell on good soil, where it produced a crop 100 or 60 or 30 times what was sown. Whoever has ears, let them hear." These are the words of the teacher of Jesus of Nazareth. Here, Jesus is describing the process of evangelism, the process of spreading the word of God. But I think there are some lessons here for justice workers and activists, for those of us who spread the word of truth, of love, of equality, for those who call us to our better selves, who remind us that a better world is possible, those who do the work of building beloved community. For activists, sometimes you go out and you do your work, and the birds come along and eat your seeds. Or maybe your slogan was commodified and used by corporations to greenwash their products, or to paper over your resistance and resilience with a bit of rainbow capitalism, or to feign solidarity with Black Lives Matter while paying their own employees less than a living wage. Sometimes you go out and you do the work, and it seems like you're making much progress. Just like the seeds that fall on shallow soil. You are at the top of the news cycle. Your slogan is everywhere. Politicians seem to be taking up your cause. Your momentum is building, and you feel as though you've finally found the magic right combination of words to say. And then the news cycle moves on, and suddenly you are no longer a priority, and photo ops are no longer necessary. And all of your allies, well, maybe it turns out they were more talk than action. All that momentum you felt like you had slips through your fingers. Sometimes you go out and you do the work and your words fall on people who need them, but they cannot act because they're working 2 jobs, or because they are afraid, or because they have tried before and failed, or because they just simply cannot because of all of the many ways that our lives and our world gets in the way. And sometimes you go out and you do your work and the movement grows. Community is made. Your bill is passed. Your policies enacted. The innocent are set free. Your funding comes through, and what you have longed for so long is suddenly made real. This is the work of justice making and peacemaking. It is slow until it suddenly happens all at once. It is impossible until it exists. What that means for us, for activists, truth tellers, movement builders, community leaders, and healers, is that we spend a lot of time feeling like we're failing and getting nowhere. In Jesus' story, there are 3 failures before he tells of 1 success. Someone who works in sales will tell you that you should expect somebody to say no to you 8 or 9 times before 1 person says yes. But you can build a living on that 1 out of 10. So we as justice makers, when we feel like we are failing for so long, it can become easy to get discouraged, to burn out. And we run the risk of quitting when success is waiting for us like a miracle around the corner. A study of social justice and human rights activists in 2015 found that all of the 22 activists they interviewed displayed at least 1 symptom of burnout. This is a personal tragedy for the activists affected, and it is also a community tragedy. It is a tragedy for communities that lose their members. It's a tragedy for movements that lose their experience, knowledge, and momentum, since many activists who often quit entirely, both activism and politics. This is why I choose to live in community and in congregational life. Because community, and specifically community care, is at the center of every long-lasting and successful justice movement. You have heard of self-care, and self-care is important, but it does not replace community care. Community care is what we need to sustain us when we by ourselves are not enough. So many of our heroes knew this. Dorothy Day, who advanced the cause of economic justice, socialism, and peace at the very height of McCarthyism, founded and lived in Catholic worker houses, communities which lived and worked and worshiped together, providing the comfort and the support that they needed to do the work. Martin Luther King and his congregation organized carpools and aid for those whose activism cost them their jobs. His congregation met and sang together not just on Sunday morning, but also on Wednesdays and in their organizing meetings, singing songs and speaking words of hope with the certainty that a loving God would help them through. Feminists and labor organizers likewise also sang songs of hope and promise and gathered aid for one another, joining each other in potlucks, and in work. Cesar Chavez and the United Farm Workers held mass before their actions, sustaining each other's spirit in addition to the bodily support that they gave one another. Malcolm X found both comfort and power in Islam. The revolutionary intercommunalism of the Black Panthers led them to found countless community support programs for everything from food and clothing distribution to educational programming and community health initiatives, even going so far as to providing ambulance care to places that ambulances would not go. Starhawk and the Reclaiming Movement, who helped to shut down the Seattle World Trade Talks of 1999, found much of their renewal and their community in their neo-pagan faith, their camps and their retreats. We need the care of our communities to sustain us in the work because it is hard and slow until it happens all at once. And that brings me to the last lesson that I hear from this parable. And that is this: sometimes the conditions are just right. And I very believe that the conditions are about to be just right. We have been away from each other for so long. Me and all of my neighbors and friends have learned the very true value of community. They have learned that what is most important is not all of the stuff we invite and bring into our house. It is not the stuff that lines our shelves, but it is the people we invite into our home that makes our life truly beautiful, meaningful, worthwhile. The time will soon be right. We will soon be ready to hear that funding schools is more important than funding prisons, that social work and therapy and medical care and education and housing and food, that we can produce as much as we need for every person. And so nothing less is acceptable. Soon, the time will be right. We will be joined in our work by our friends and our neighbors who are ready to build the world that we have been dreaming about. That is why the work that we do here in building a community is so important, because we are getting ready to build a new world. We are getting ready for change to happen all at once, for that miracle of beloved community of heaven on earth. It is on its way. Get ready for it. Revive your hope. I know that it can be hard and painful after a long year of everything seeming to go wrong, to pick up and to be hopeful and faithful and excited and enthusiastic. That's kind of hard. But I promise you, it's going to be a lot easier when we're all together singing. And it won't be long now. Amen, Ashe, and I'm looking forward to being with you. Blessed be.
Open my heart to all that I seek. Let me be part of the love you give. Open my heart to
This house is for the ingathering of nature and human nature. It is a house of friendships, a haven in trouble, an open room for the encouragement of our struggle. It is a house of freedom, guarding the dignity and worth of every person. It offers a platform for the free voice, for declaring, both in times of security and danger, the full and undivided conflict of opinion. It is a house of truth-seeking, where scientists can encourage devotion to their quest, where mystics can abide in a community of searchers. It is a house of art, adorning its celebrations with melodies and handiworks. It is a house of prophecy, outrunning times past and times present in visions of growth and progress. This house is a cradle for our dreams, the workshop of our common endeavor. To make an offering or fulfill your pledge, please go to oakcliffuu.org/donate and follow the links.
From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. De ti yo recibo, a ti te doy. Así compartimos y vivimos hoy. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. De ti yo recibo, a ti te doy. Así compartimos y vivimos hoy.
The Purpose of This Community is to Help Its People Grow by Eric Walter Woodstrom. If you are who you were, and if the person next to you is who he or she was, if none of us has changed since the day we came in here, we have failed. The purpose of this community, of any church, temple, zendo, mosque, is to help its people grow. We do this through encounters with the unknown, in ourselves, in one another, in the other, whoever that might be for us, however hard that might be, because these encounters have many gifts to offer. So may you go forth from here this morning, not who you were, but who you could be, so may we all.
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
And now in Spanish. Encendimos esta llama, pero no la luz de la verdad, el calor de comunidad o el fuego de nuestro compromiso. Estos los llevamos en el corazón hasta que estemos juntos otra vez.
We'll build a land where we bind up the broken. We'll build a land where the captives go free, where the oil of gladness dissolves the morning. Oh, we'll build a We